Introduce yourself.
My name is Taylor Yozwiak, and I'm the Director of Athletic Bands here at Towson University.
My first question is, how long have you been directing the TU Pep Band?
I have been directing the TU Pep Band now for 9 years. I was the Assistant Director of Athletic Bands for 7 years. I was the Interim Director of Athletic Bands for 1 year, and then this is my first year as the Head Director of Athletic Bands.
What made you want to do it?
I wanted to pursue this career because it was an awesome opportunity to work full-time in the music field while having the stability of working, at a university. I also really started to enjoy teaching as I went through my career, and working with specifically the marching bands and drum lines and athletic band programs really became a passion of mine. So this job here at Towson was an awesome opportunity to do that full time.
What's your favorite part of game day?
My favorite part of game day is probably pregame. It's a really cool tradition when the team runs out onto the court and they're getting warmed up and ready to play. The pep band has a sequence that includes Eye of the Tiger, which kind of represents the Towson theme, and then we also play a couple classic NCAA and NBA themes, and then of course our classic Sports Center arrangement. It's really an exciting part of the game.
Do you ever feel nervous before stepping up?
I do feel nervous sometimes at these games. There is often a lot of eyes on the band, especially at a well-attended game, and we have to really time things correctly between plays, during timeouts. So there is some pressure, and sure, I'd certainly feel nervous at times.
How do you mentally prepare?
I mentally prepare by reading through the game plan, the script of events, so I know when the band is going to fit into it. I also prepare by just thinking back and recalling my years of experience in this position now, which has led me to be pretty confident during the game.
What does being director of the TU Pep Band mean to you?
Being the director of the TU Pep Band means a lot to me because of the tradition and reputation that this program has. We are really well known, not just here at Towson, but around the CAA conference for having a really high energy and professional pep band. So it means a lot that I have the responsibility to continue that legacy of our band.
What goes through your head while conducting?
While conducting, I'm usually mostly watching the game clock so that I know when we need to stop playing, so that we fit right within the game sequence. But a lot of times I'm also just impressed by the power and the energy and the sound that the band brings to the game day atmosphere.
How do you stay focused during games?
I stay focused by trying to think ahead. So I'm always trying to be one step ahead of what's happening in the game, what the band needs to do next in our sequence, and then preparing the band for what's coming up next.
How do you communicate with the band in such a loud environment?
Communicating with the band in such a loud environment can be challenging. If I can't use my voice, typically I will write things down. I'll put it on a board, I'll hold it up, and make sure that everybody can see it. And that's usually how I can tell them what's coming up next, what we're about to play, or what they need to know in-game.
The towels, what are they for?
The towels are for hype. They're the rally towels. We use them when something exciting happens. We also will hold them up during free throws when our team is playing a free throw, just to create a calm atmosphere to allow the players to focus and be consistent in their free throws.
Do you think the pep band impacts the overall vibe of a basketball game?
I absolutely think the pep band affects the overall atmosphere in the arena. We bring a lot of energy. We're constantly cheering. Even when we're not playing, we're performing in that sense. So absolutely, I don't think the arena would feel the same if we weren't there.
What do you hope the band members take away from these games?
From these games, I hope the band feels excited about how they can contribute to the games. I hope they enjoy being around each other and feeding off that energy. And I hope that they enjoy just being a part of the legacy and reputation that is the Towson Pep Band.
What's your opinion on the chants we do?
Let me think about that one for a second. The Pep Band has a lot of traditional chants that they use during the game when they're not playing. I think they're really cool. They bring a lot of energy and an excitement to what's happening in the game. Of course, when we're on defense, when we're on offense. And I think it shows the unique personality that our band has and just how they can have fun in game even when we're not playing.
Do you think the chants are more about supporting the team or having the crowd?
I think our chants are mostly about supporting the team. We want to know that we are bringing that energy. We do try to distract at times when we're on defense, but it's really all about showing the team that we're there for them throughout the game.
Do you think some of the chants we do are a little too mean-spirited to the other team?
I think the chants and cheers that we use during the game, although they're meant to distract the opposing team at times, we always try to keep it professional and keep it classy. And I think it's still in the spirit of a Towson basketball game.
I agree, by the way.
Me too.
Has your perspective of leadership changed at all between now and your first year doing this?
I've learned a lot about leadership through my time here. I'm learning every day when I work with the band and get to know the students and see what happens in the context of a game. So it's a really cool opportunity to just continually learn and grow in this position.
What's the biggest difference between pep band and other ensembles, including marching band?
The pep band is really unique compared to other ensembles. I would say, especially with marching band is a lot more disciplined. It takes a lot more rehearsal. We're a lot more uniform. Whereas the pep band, of course, we still have a very high standard for our appearance and our performance, but it's meant to be a little bit more casual. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be more flexible for the students' schedules. And I think it's a really good balance between what we do in the winter and spring with pep band versus the marching band in the fall.
This is what I'm actually curious about. How are you so on point when it comes to timing? Like, you know when to bring us in, you know when to start the fight song, you know when to do pregame, you know when to have a stall and be like TIGERS, Tigers. And I'm just curious about that.
Yeah, so the timing of the band, through years of doing this, I have kind of gotten down to a science. There's never an exact consistent formula of timings per game, but I know that Sports Center is usually always about 90 seconds. I know that our fight song is exactly 25 seconds. So I'm always watching the clock, and I'll know that, okay, if we have 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to play, if I start the fight song at 2 minutes and 10 seconds, that'll bring us down to about 40 seconds. Then I start the fight song at 25, that brings us exactly down to 0. So I kind of have that figured out, but a lot of times it's improvising. It's reading what's going to happen on the field, or on the court rather, watching the officials, listening for the whistles, and then being able to match that up with cues in the music where we can make them fit together.
Have you ever messed up on that?
Yeah, certainly made mistakes. Let's see. I'm trying to think of an example. Yeah, I've certainly made mistakes, particularly at times allowing the band to go on just for a couple seconds after the whistle is blown and the game has begun. But that's something I'm always trying to tweak and learn and get down to more and more of an exact science as we go.
What goes through your head during an intense game? Like Saturday, for example, that second half was electric.
Yeah, during an intense game, I'm trying to balance keeping my mind on what's happening next in the game and what the band needs to be doing with like how can we continue to hype up the band and bring the energy, because in those moments the energy and the spirit of the band can really factor into the energy that our team has on the field. So I want to make sure that we're there and supporting them in that sense.
What's the most difficult part of being director?
I think one of the difficult things about being the director is just always trying to balance what's best for our students and what's in their best interest, and then unfortunately sometimes just what we have to do with long schedules, long hours, a lot of hard work that comes with that. So just trying to make it a fun and enjoyable experience, but also get done what we need to get done.
What's one aspect of pep band that is often overlooked?
I think one aspect of pep bands that I often take for granted is how cool it is that we basically have courtside seats to every game. It's really cool that we're right there in the center of the action at every home game anytime we want to be.
Do you think your personality affects how the band responds to you?
I think my personality can affect how the band responds to me. I try to remain even keel, calm, even in stressful situations. But I think also if I'm able to be animated and hyped up at times, I think that can rub off on the band, hopefully, as well.
What do you hope people feel when the band plays?
When the band plays, I hope people feel that it's impressive. I hope they feel the power and the energy that we bring to the arena. I hope they recognize how talented our students are. I hope they recognize how cool and unique our arrangements are, the actual music that we play, and that they see just the high quality ensemble that we are.
How would you describe your leadership style?
I would describe my style of leadership as lead by example. I try to operate with the attitude and respect towards our students that I hope that they give towards each other.
Do you ever replay moments in your head?
Yeah, I definitely replay moments in my head, sometimes good, sometimes bad, of things that I wish I could have done a little bit better in the game. And then really cool moments. There have been some extremely exciting ends, finishes of games that will always stick with me.
How do you decide what tune to play at what time? It's just random?
In terms of deciding, let's see. When it comes to deciding which tunes to play during the game, there are some that are standard and traditional. Our pregame sequence is always the same. We always play our traditional Sports Center during the second half of the game. But otherwise, I'm trying to program things that might fit the energy of what's happening in the moment. For example, our Seven Nation Army chant can really get the audience hyped up, and I'll try to put that in a moment towards the end of the game when things are really tense. So typically, it's matching the moment, or it's matching if I know that we have this amount of time to play, and I know that a song would fit that time length well. Usually one of the two.
When do you feel most alive during a basketball game?
During a basketball game, I definitely feel most alive when the team runs out and we cue Eye of the Tiger right as they say, now entering the court, your Towson Tigers. It's a really cool moment, and it makes me feel good about what I'm doing here at Towson.
Do you ever feel disappointed if the team loses?
I think let's see. Losing games is an unfortunate part of what we do. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and I think we have support for the team either way.
Do you think if pep band didn't exist, how would that impact the basketball games?
if the pep band was not at these basketball games, I think there would be a little bit of an emptiness in terms of just that energy and that cheer that comes from our corner of the arena. I think we really add a lot, and I'm glad that we're a part of the games.
Okay, that's all the questions I had.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
One
Yeah,
more-
that's
one
awesome.
More, though.
Yep.
This one's for me.
Okay.
Top 3 pep band tunes.
Top 3 pep band tunes. I really like Brooklyn. I think it has a ton of energy on the chorus, and it's a really cool moment to feature a soloist in there. Got to, of course, go with Sellout. That's classic. We close out every tune. There's nothing that screams Towson Pep Band more than that. And then I love Seven Nation Army, like I mentioned earlier. I think it's really cool. There's a lot we can do with it in terms of repeating the different sections, and it really is effective when we can put it in during an exciting moment of the game.
Alright. You got taste.
What's that?
You got taste.
Taste? I appreciate it.
Alright. That's it.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Those are good questions.